Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video I am going to be completing my October daily album, working on the 31st of October all the way through the 2nd of November, which includes our Dia de los Muertos celebrations as well. So I'm going to go ahead, put you guys on fast forward, and get to work on all of these spreads for today, and then once we get everything finished up, I will slow back down and close you guys out of this video and out of this project for 2020. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, friends, so as per usual, since I had a lot of these pages prepped before the month of October even started, it's going to make putting together these last few spreads really quick and easy. So on this first one, I had pre-created that pocket that says the witching hour up on the full page spread, and behind it, I am tucking in this tag that says Happy Halloween. I did go ahead and print out some journaling from my computer. I just made sure to size it as big as the journaling card and left room for where those corners were going to be cut off, just so I didn't cut off any of the journaling on the back side. Then I'm going to add my hole punch into it, put the eyelet in there just to protect the hole that it makes when it goes in the twine. I am going to put the twine on here and trim it off, but then realize that I actually wanted to add a photo to that tag as well. So I will do that here in just a second. But first, we're going to move on to the opposite side of that spread. For this one, I printed off a photo of Izzy and me in our Halloween costumes in the backyard. So for Halloween this year, we decided to do a backyard bash with our neighbors. They're kind of our pod throughout this whole COVID coronavirus pandemic. Where we've been hanging out with them, and pretty much that's it. So the nice thing is it does give our kids a friend to do their trick-or-treating and stuff with. Well, not trick-or-treating, but you know what I'm talking about, like the holiday excitement stuff with. So what we did instead of trick-or-treating, we did our backyard bash, and I set up a game for them to play where they had witches hats and pool rings, and they had to like throw the ring on the hat. And then our neighbor set up a scavenger hunt around our yards for the kids, and at each clue they got a piece of candy, and then eventually it led to a little baggie filled with candies for them. So they were still able to get candy from the season, and they honestly had a really great time. And then afterwards we set up a bonfire in the backyard and just sat out there. It was pretty chilly, especially when the sun was behind the clouds and when it went down. But it was nice to have the bonfire. And then after we ate dinner and it got dark outside, we went over to my parents to spend the evening with my parents and with our family friends who actually watch Jonah once a week. So again, just the people who we see regularly, who are in our particular pod of people, so to speak. So that was basically what we did for Halloween this year. It was kind of nice. It was relaxing. It was not stressful, and a good time. We just had a good time. So what I am doing here, I created this pocket using a treat bag that I've had. I bought a pack of them a few years ago, and I feel like every year one makes it into the album. So I have a treat bag that I embellished, and that would have been back in my pockets prep videos, which also that first pocket would be on that same video as well. So I embellished the little baggie there, and then inside had pre-planned to use some of these journaling cards. So for the day itself, I printed out photos that I could back those cards with. One of them just says, hello, too much candy. One of them says October Details, which though the October Details was from the October Stories by the Month kit last year, I think so was the Hello Too Much Candy. I think that one was too. And then the last one it just says October 31st on it. Again, I think that's from last year's Stories by the Month from October. So I added my journaling, I hand wrote it in and just kind of explained what we did and why we did it. And then I also on the October details, filled it out for myself. Like, what did I watch this season? What did I love this season? So that one is from my perspective. So here you can see that I have the 2 pictures that I wanted to add to this tag. One picture is one that my neighbor took of us, our whole family dressed up and outside together. And the other one is a picture I took of their family. So then I've got pictures of both families here in the tag. We're going to stick that back in the little pocket there, and then that little spread is done, and that completes October 31st, so Halloween. Next, we're going to move on to Dia de los Muertos. So for those of you who don't know anything about Dia de los Muertos or have never celebrated it before, basically it's a holiday that stretches from the 31st of October through the 2nd of November, but the major days are the 1st of November and the 2nd of November. It is a holiday where we celebrate, or in other words, remember our family members who have passed. So on the 1st is the day when you would traditionally remember anybody who passed in your family as a child, or friends as a child. And on the 2nd, you remember those in your family or friends who passed as adults. So in our family, my grandma passed away 10, maybe 11 years now ago. And then my husband lost his cousin when his cousin was in high school, I believe, maybe college. And his Aunt Joanne, I want to say like the first year after we had started dating. So quite a while passed. So every year we sit down with our kids, we take their photos off our ofrenda, and we tell stories about those family members so that our kids can also get to know them and carry on the memory of our children. So this last couple of spreads is just documenting what we did to get ready for the holiday and then how we actually celebrated the holiday. This piece right here I had pre-created in my flips prep pages, I want to call them. And it's just a waterfall, and I had planned to use it to document the things that we did to prepare. So I talked about watching Coco. I talked about making our pan de muerto, and I always make a loaf of banana bread for my grandma. I talked about, setting up the ofrenda. And then in this pocket here, this was another one of those treat bags. I am going to pull over my sewing machine here because even though I used some pretty sticky adhesive double-sided tape, it's not holding up very well. So I am just going to go ahead and stitch those sides together just so I don't have to worry about this falling apart throughout the years. I actually feel like I have one of these that I did in a past album that I might need to do the same thing to, because I feel like this is happening to that one as well. So if you are having problems with some of your, I want to say like more sturdy cardstock like this, because this is pretty thick cardstock. So if you're having a hard time with it adhering down really well and you are comfortable with a sewing machine, I definitely recommend it as a way to hold down some of these things a lot better and to help them last over time. So while I put that away, I can explain a little bit about what we do on the day, on Dia de los Muertos. So typically on the 2nd, on the 1st, we only watch Coco, basically. We sit down as a family, watch it, and it is what inspired us to start celebrating this holiday, because even though my husband is Mexican, his family growing up did not celebrate it. So it is a new thing that we are bringing into our family, because it is part of our children's heritage, but also I just really love the meaning behind the whole holiday. So on the 1st, we watch Coco, and then on the 2nd, I typically will make our pan de muerto by hand, which is a sweet bread. So it's bread of the dead. It's a sweet bread that you make with orange zest and orange juice and anise seed, which is kind of like licorice flavor, and lots of sugar. So it's really sweet and good. I like it, and the thing I like the most about it is that it makes my whole house just smell delicious. So we do that. And then I also make a loaf of banana bread every year as well. Growing up, my grandma had her special banana bread recipe that she made for us at every family gathering. So it is the way that I remember her every year. Like, it's the thing that I love and I look forward to the most. Normally, I have Izzy help me mash the bananas or do something to kind of participate with it. But since we also did school today, it was just too complicated to get her to help me for school today, because I am, teaching kindergarten, and today is not a national holiday or anything like that, where we would take a break. What we did instead is we did kind of sort of play hooky for the day, and I have a couple of books that we read about the holiday. So I just, with Izzy and with the neighbor boy who's with us, I tried to teach them like what the holiday is all about, and we talked about stories, and we talked about our family, and I told the neighbor, I was like, go home and talk to your mom about it and your dad about it, and tell them what you learned, and talk about your family with them. And it was so sweet because they texted me later in the night and said that he was telling them all about it at dinner time and was really excited about it and asked questions. And I thought that was so cute. So I love it. I love sharing this holiday and these traditions with others as well. So in the evening, we sit down and we eat some treats and we just tell stories. So this year I told the story about my grandma having me over with her, and one special occasion when she set up a cookie making day. And it's just this memory I have of going over to her house and baking Christmas cookies with her, just me and her, and all the like fancy schmancy ones that she made, because she's always been like a super big fan of baking, which I talked to Izzy about because she and I both love cooking and baking. And I was able to tell her, like, I think we get this from Graham. I think, that's where it comes from. Graham loved cooking, and so do we. So it's super cute. So this little baggie, I was having trouble because one of the holes ripped. So I attempted to put in one of the eyelets in there just to see if that would make it a little bit sturdier and stay in the album better. It's not quite perfect. So I might need to go back and potentially add a strip of washi tape or just something to that edge to make it stick better in my album, so I don't have to worry about it deteriorating over time. But for now, I'm just going to leave it. I was just ready to be done at this point. And then I have one last thing that I want to do here. I received this handmade card in the middle of October from one of my dear friends, and I just loved it. It's so sweet. So I'm going to throw some hole punches in there and stick it in the back of the album so I can keep it with all of my other 2020 October daily memories. So once I get that hole punched, I will stick it in the album, and that is going to be it for this October daily album for this year. All right, friends, that finishes my 2020 October daily album. So we've got the Halloween holiday, where we've got this little flip tag here in the front that just has our family in our costumes and our neighbors in their costumes, and some journaling about what we did to celebrate the season this October. Then on the back side, I have a large photo of Izzy and me, the cards and photos that pull out of this little bag here at the top. I love the way that this clip can kind of latch on to the top there to make it easier to pull things out, like so. And then we've got our Dia de los Muertos stuff as well. So we've got the waterfall here with our photos, another photo on the back, and then this little flip tag booklet of fun tags and phrases, and then photos on the back of those. And that pretty much finishes it. I did add a card that I was sent from a friend. She handmade me a card and I loved it. So I wanted to make sure to put it in my album for this year as well. And that is that. So you guys, thank you so much for following along with me this year on my October daily album. I love the way that it all came together. I am so excited to get this on the shelf, put away, and to start on my December daily stuff. I'm just super duper pumped. So if you guys enjoyed this video and if you enjoyed this series, I would love a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of my future crafty videos. I will be back again tomorrow with my Project Life spread for the week, and then I'm actually contributing to the Allie Edwards Product Play 4 class for December daily, and my lesson will be live on Thursday. Therefore, I will not have a live on my channel Thursday this particular week. And then catch me on Saturday if you're not signed up already at the prep party for December Daily, if December Daily is something that you are participating in this year. And then next week I will be back on my regular days, but we are going to be diving into December Daily, and I am so excited. So that is that. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye now.